Okay, so, hi, it's Charlie. Glioblastoma. Update. I went to Grand Rapids. Baby girl, what are we going to do with you? We're making a video. Okay, anyway, Hazel drove me to Grand Rapids for the first time. First city driving for Hazel. She did amazing, and I couldn't be more proud of her because it was rush hour in Grand Rapids, and she handled it like a boss. So, congratulations to Hazel. I spent most of it on my phone because I didn't even have to really do much, which is probably healthy for clarity anyway. Anyway, so basically, since Dr. Sherman left, my neuro-oncologist, I've been downgraded, and I hate to say it because, doctors are doctors, but basically I was downgraded to a regular oncologist. So, the clinic that I go to now, until I get into Henry Ford, is just random cancer patients. And that's not something that I'm really used to, because when you have brain cancer, you see the neuro-oncologist, and it's very quiet, and it's a smaller clinic, and it's not total chaos. And this clinic that I go to now, I mean, it's so loud. And sorry about that. There's baby girl looking for clarity. Yeah, Mama loves you too. Yes, you're precious. Yeah, Mama loved you a long time. Okay, so basically, yeah, the clinic is insane. It's so loud, and it's it's just the most horrible place to walk into. It's almost better to have brain cancer than for me, because up until now I didn't realize just how horrible those places are. And it's not that they're decent people. That's not it. It's just everything is so loud, and there's so many people. And when you have brain cancer, like a rare brain cancer like me, there's not a whole lot of people. So it's very quiet, and everybody is very just controlled. So yeah, that really sucked. And I was just like, Clarity cannot do this shit much longer. She's gonna explode out of my head, and there's gonna be a mess on the wall if I don't get the F out of here. My oncologist, my regular oncologist, who basically just controls my Avastin and my rounds of chemo, he's basically useless. I mean, I hate to say that too, but he is, because he didn't really say more than 5 words to me. So I drove 2.5 hours. Well, Hazel did, but I had to be in the car. And basically, I got 5 words, and they were good words. Basically, my platelets went up, which they were so low, and everybody was super worried. So they went back up to 120, which puts me back in the running for Avastin infusion tomorrow, because I really haven't been infused all month. So that's been weighing heavily on my mind. Also, my numbers are also good enough to start my 4th round of chemo. Number 4. Yeah, we're really excited. I shouldn't be excited about chemo, but I am, because honestly, I think, my old doctor, she thought maybe I'd get 3, and now I'm going to start number 4. So that's exciting. And I still haven't got my MRI scheduled because the safety officer won't approve it. So that really sucks, because Clarity could be in there just spewing babies out everywhere, and we wouldn't friggin' know, because my MRI was supposed to be done over a month ago. I gained 6 more pounds, so yeah, while I'm alive. So I just finished off some powdered donuts and half a chili dog from A&W's. But, I'm alive, and I figured, hey, you know what? Get me a bigger casket because it's only going to be for viewing anyway. Um, Another difference in going, and this is maybe just me personally, because usually when I would go to the doctor, people wouldn't really look at me. And I clearly, if I have a hat that matches like a certain outfit or a certain dress, like I bought a dress specifically to wear with a certain hat, that that's for another day. So basically, when I would go to the doctor, nobody really looked at me sideways because you know what, my head hurts. And putting a hat on is not always comfortable. So I'm comfortable with my bald ass head. And like it's lumpy and it's got dents in it. And Clarity is like, don't you put pressure on me or else I'm going to explode. So I just go around like this unless I'm wearing my Uptune or I'm out in the sun or I'm trying to look cuter than I do now. So when you go into the regular cancer center, it seems like everybody's wearing a hat. And I'm like, okay, well, I typically don't get stared at when you're at the cancer center. Is supposed to be like this place where everybody's just equal and you don't get judged. Well, it really seems like everybody stared at me a lot because I don't know, maybe it was because I wasn't wearing a hat. And I'm thinking, well, hey, if you feel uncomfortable with your baldness, by all means, wear a hat. Me personally, I feel really good bald. I don't, like, I shave it. I have to shave it. And I'm used to it. So I don't like this little patch back here. And I don't like the hair on my face, but the baldness doesn't bother me. So I was kind of surprised to see hats everywhere. Because I guess, I don't know, maybe people aren't as comfortable with being bald as I am. So that I thought was another big difference. So, not to offend anybody because, hey, I got brain cancer. So, basically, I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say anyway. I'm not going to be around anyway, so you don't like my opinion? Suck it, as far as I'm concerned. And the people at the cancer center, hey, sorry. I think there needs to be like a noise ordinance in that place. And you can just only deal with so much. Finally, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, seriously. My old navigator from the other department, she met with me and I, I said, I can't keep going like this because I can't infuse in that place. I'm going to infuse in the upstairs infusion because that's where my regular nurse is. And she knows me and she knows that I am basically this person that she knows where my spot is and everything my best vein. And she knows that I'm okay with, that I've accepted all this. I don't really want to start with new people. I'm almost at my year mark. So when I'm almost at the end of my diagnosis where people live and I gotta start all over again, that shit really sucks, let me tell you. Hazel went and I was really glad. Tomorrow I do infusion, so Sarah, my sister, is driving me to infusion, probably with my nephews. Hopefully I'll have some yogurt left because they like yogurt. Other than that, I've been trying to stay positive and not think about the timeline. And with everything being messed up with my insurance and the MRI, it's hard. And I try to make peace with people and, be the bigger person. And sometimes, no matter what you do, you just can't. It's like people get this image of you stuck in their mind, and it's just not something that I can change. And usually, when people don't like me, there's a really good reason for it. So, for the people that don't like me, hey, that's on you, not on me, because your hatred doesn't bother me. But there are things that I haven't done and I get blamed for that really bother me. Because if I've done something to somebody, I typically will admit it. And then I'll give you a reason why I did it or why I said it. So, and some of you probably could guess what this is about. The other half of you, if you don't know, then it wasn't really that important for you to know to begin with, I guess. And that's really hard. To just have people not like you for reasons that you've done absolutely nothing. And you can see this is where I start to tread really carefully. Because I'm just like, Clarity will be like, tell the whole truth. Tell it all. And let the shit fall where it may. But the Charlie part of me says, you could live another 6 months or more, hopefully, and you are a good person. And you don't want to be that person because karma is a bitch. And I've already got enough shit going on without being that person. Other than that, let's see. Because I'm trying to keep everything organized in my head. I didn't think I'd make it to 4 rounds, and I didn't think I'd make it back to infusion. So, hey, congratulations to me. I might celebrate and have an orange and maybe a sandwich in the morning. Yeah, I think it's probably time for bed because I gotta get back up and go in the morning, and that sucks. But sorry, I'm bouncing my little holder there. Yeah, so that sucks that I gotta get back up and go. And when you spend 20 minutes filling out a form about all the things that are wrong with you, and then the doctor's like, is the medication working? And I said, no, I couldn't take it because it made me high. And then he doesn't get, like, I'm like, I can't walk because I got drop foot. And he kind of looked at me, and I said, well, I have a brace, but I can't wear it because my leg got too small from, not being able to use it as well. And he still kind of looked at me like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, I got a brace, but my leg changed shape, and now I can't wear it. And then when my leg swells, like, it makes my toes turn brown. So I think I really need to have a prescription for a new brace. And he still kind of looks at me like, what are you talking about? And I almost wanted to say, I got brain cancer, right? Like, hey, have you seen my scans? Because I got a giant tumor in there. But I didn't. I held it together. So the main benefit that came out of all this is Hazel driving. And then the doctor says to me about my chemo. And I'm like, I don't have the chemo pills yet. And it's, the 42-day cycle. And they're like, well, why don't you have them? And I said, well, Dr. Sherman always would approve my start date personally. So that was messed up. And, I said, well, they keep calling and I keep putting the pills on hold because I'm waiting for approval from you. And he was like, well, your numbers seem okay. Go ahead and start it. And I'm like, well, you're the doctor. So I figured you're smarter than me and maybe I ought to wait until, you give me permission, because my old doctor, she would always make me wait an extra week just to make sure that I wasn't gonna, just to make sure I was strong enough and I wouldn't fall back. So, yeah, that was a nice little tidbit that I was like, what? So, yep, that's about it. And if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. And if you have any pictures of anybody that has ever loved me or that I have loved, please send them to me. I have a massive amount of crap to do, and I need help. And I got pictures of a lot of people, but not enough of my extended family or friends. And I need them desperately. I'm a picture hoarder. So please help me. Good night, everybody. Love you.